Hello, and welcome to today's live Writer's Digest and AWAI webinar titled Get Paid to Write, How to Land Paid Assignments, Writing Copy and Content with Rebecca Matter and Katie Yackel. Rebecca Matter is a copywriter, founder of Wealthy Web Writer, named one of the 101 best websites for writers by Writer's Digest, and president of AWAI, the world's leading trainer of direct response copywriters. A marketer with over 15 years of experience in publishing and direct marketing, Rebecca has spearheaded several successful million-dollar campaigns for countless products, both online and off, and has spoken and written on topics ranging from getting and working with clients to successful web marketing strategies. Katie Yackel has spent over 30 years in the world of direct marketing and publishing in the roles of copy editor, editorial coordinator, product manager, fulfillment supervisor, marketing manager, and publisher. Recognizing the industry-wide need for talented copywriters who can deliver copy that sells, she helped establish American Writers and Artists Incorporated with co-founders Paul Hollingshead and Don Mahoney in 1997. Today, as executive director, Katie oversees AWAI's 70-plus programs designed to help people turn their passions into careers. Okay, guys, excuse me. Katie and Rebecca, you can unmute yourself and begin your presentation, and I won't jump in unless you need me to.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sue. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Yackel, and I'm going to start us off today, and then you'll be hearing from Rebecca a little bit later in this presentation. Again, we apologize for the delay. Very happy you're here with us today, and I love the excitement I'm already seeing in the Q&As. Please do write any comments or questions in that Q&A box. It's a great way to get your personal questions answered, and we'll answer and share as many as we can. Today we are talking about how to land paying gigs, writing copy and content. The reason we're all here, how to get paid to write. And Rebecca, you're going to advance the slide? Yes. We have some lofty goals for you today, all very doable, we know it. Today, what we're going to do by the time we're done, we are going to share with you the one skill that will help you land the best writing gigs. We're going to show you the best paying opportunities for writers today. We're going to talk about fees for these assignments. We're going to talk about where to find the quality clients, the people you want to write for, how to land those jobs, and best practices for success. But first, let's just quickly, let me tell you who we are. Rebecca and I combined have over 40 years of experience in the direct response marketing and publishing world. We've both personally helped, hired, and trained hundreds of well-paid writers, all writers who are living the writer's life today. We write articles and publish training programs on building successful writing businesses, everything that you can think of, from how to get your first client, how to leave your current job, and then how to really excel at along the path that you've chosen. There's nothing we love more than helping writers make good money. It's a big part of our lives, the sharing of these stories, the celebrating, and really taking hold of these wins. That's what our goal is, our aim is, and that's what drives pretty much everything that we do. We are proud owners and partners in American Writers and Artists, Inc., and we've been helping writers live the writer's life since 1997. AWAI is best known, I'd say best known for our accelerated program for six-figure copywriting. It's the industry's definitive program on writing direct response copy. We have over 75 other programs as well, but this really is the cornerstone. It's what we launched the company with 20 years ago. we pride ourselves on not only giving you the skills necessary to be a well-paid writer, but also the tools and access necessary to find the clients and then build a successful writing business. As I said, we're very glad you're here with us today because as a writer, you are in the right place at the right time. And we're going to tell you why in the next few minutes we have together. First of all, good writers are in high demand. Just think about all the writing you come in contact with every single day, all the websites, all the emails, all the information we're all exposed to every single day. Writers are in higher demand today than they've ever been. And then, Rebecca, if you could just go on. And, the thing to keep in mind is that someone is paying the writers for all that we see and so much more. Writing is essentially the lifeblood of our economy. And because of that, there's an increased demand, which translates to higher fees for writers. And, with this increased demand, it means that the quality of the writing has to rise as well too. And marketers and companies know that the quality matters, and we have Google to thank for that. It's all about getting rising to the top in that world, and to do that, your writing has to be good. It has to be effective. And there's one skill that, it's a particular skill that can fast track your freelance writing success. And that's learning how to write persuasively, also known as copywriting, sales writing, persuasive writing. That's the key to all of any effective writing that you see, that you experience. It has the elements, and it's based on persuasion. So when you know how to write persuasively, you're going to make more money as a writer. And that's any type of writing that you want to do. It's just the fact. If knowing the secrets and the strategies of what gets somebody to keep reading, persuades them to take some kind of action, it makes you a better, more sought-after writer. You'll be more effective, like I just said, and you'll be able to sell all your writing services. And, if you're working on a book, the writing persuasively not only helps you craft a better story, a better book, but it helps you sell that book better, which is, we could do a whole nother webinar just on that. Now, Rebecca, why don't we flip back to you, and you let everybody know where, just give everybody a little bit more information about the best opportunities right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. And hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Matter, and right now I want to cover the top 5 opportunities for writers. There are a lot more. I'm going to show you those as well, but I really wanted to go into a few of them that we find, just knowing the industry and what people are hiring for right now, that are the strongest and the easiest to get into, and that it will be very easy for you to build your business starting with these few opportunities. I will say that, what Katie just said about learning to write persuasively, learning basic copywriting, if you do that first, you will be better at every writing project out there, including the ones I'm going to show you. So the first one is what most people think of when they think of copywriting, and that's the direct response sales letter, the long sales letter that you get in the mail, in your mailbox. It can be in a print form. You might see it online. But the letter that starts out, you see a nice headline. It says, "Dear Reader." It tells you all about a problem or a solution. It shows you a problem and illustrates a solution, and then tries to sell you something at the end. That's a very traditional form of copywriting that many people think about when they hear the word direct response copy. And the reason I want to talk about it is it still is one of the best ways to make a living as a writer. For those of you who aren't familiar with the phrase direct response just means that it targets one reader at a time. So when you're writing this form of copy, you are writing a letter to a friend, to one person. Even though it might go to 1 million people, you're really only writing to one person. And so there's a nice conversation going on. You're writing it as though, you're coming across as though you care about the person, what their problem is, you're providing a solution. But the goal with direct response is that you're driving that single person to take an action. It could be to buy something like the traditional sales letter, but it could also be to sign up for a newsletter, to click a link, to donate to a charity, download a report, really anything where they're driven to take an action. And each action can be tracked, so results are measurable. And the reason why I wanted you to understand this is because that's why that last piece is why copywriters are paid so well to write direct response sales letters. The results are measurable. That's a huge thing with copywriting in all forms. A lot of the things I'm going to show you about today can be measured, and that's why they make a lot of money. So of course, how much money? Direct response sales letters usually are somewhere between $2,000 and $10,000, sometimes more. Kate and I have paid upwards of $25,000 for a sales letter. You can also make royalties. So typically it's somewhere between 2% and 10%. So in addition to your fee, as the sales letter continues to bring money into the business, you'll receive a percentage of those sales, which is great, especially if your sales letter stays around. We know a few copywriters who have had letters stay around for 15, 20 years, and they're still getting royalties on a letter they wrote 15, 20 years ago. So that's kind of exciting. The fees typically depend on the length of the letter and the revenue projected. So writing a sales letter for a company who's trying to sell a $100 product and maybe bring in $100,000 is different than writing for a company that's trying to sell a $10,000 product that's hoping to make $1 million on the sales letter. So that would impact the fee, as well as just how long it is. Is it a 5-page sales letter? Is it a 15-page sales letter? Is it a 50-page sales letter? Sales letters can really be quite long depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish at the end. So direct response sales letters are definitely still a huge opportunity for writers. How do you land them? And I'm going to cover this with all 5 of these opportunities. The first way is obviously to learn how to write direct response copy. Katie talked to you about our flagship program, the Accelerated Program for Six-Figure Copywriting. That's kind of the basis of that program. Then you simply choose an industry that you enjoy. So whether it's financial or health or self-help, really anything that you're interested in right now, you pick an industry. And then you figure out a problem that industry is having and offer to solve it. Typically, that's what a sales letter is all about. In our world, it's, you want to make a living as a writer, become a copywriter. That's your problem. If the problem is making a living, we can show you how to do that. We can solve that problem for you. So in any industry, whether it's to secure your financial future in the financial industry, whether it's to lose weight and feel better about yourself, if you're in the health industry, whether it's to talk to someone who's 55 plus who's having an issue with sleeping. It could be anything depending on the industry that you choose. And then once you get a few gigs, the thing with direct response sales letter writing is that the rest will often come to you. It only takes a few clients. When you're a sales letter writer, it only takes a few clients before you are referred constantly because somebody reads your letter and says, hey, who wrote this letter? They call the company and the company said, oh, that was Rebecca Matter. And it goes from there. Sales letter writers are usually the most sought out writer simply because they are talented. If you can write a sales letter, you can write any other form of copy out there. It's just a little bit of a twist on the skill that you've learned. And that's actually, if you take our program, I know many of you have already taken it, the reason why we teach you how to write a sales letter is because a sales letter uses all of the various pieces of copy that you will ever need in other forms of copy, like the ones I'm going to cover now. So the next big project is online content. And I wanted to cover this one because I think content is often misunderstood. I get the question a lot of times, and I'm going to show you why it's untrue, but I get a lot of times, people only want to pay $5 for an article nowadays. Well, sure, somebody wants to only pay that much, and for the writers who are willing to do that, that's fine for them. But for those of you on this webinar who are looking to make a living as a writer, that's not the kind of company that I want you to work for. I want you to work for the millions of companies out there who need actual high-quality online content because they need Google to rank them up in the search engines. They need their prospects and future buyers to see their high level of expertise and to start building a relationship with prospects before they even try to sell them. Online content is a huge opportunity for writers if you understand it. It's not just writing these little articles that mean nothing. It's articles that have intention behind them, that are trying to position a website for certain key phrases. They're trying to get readers to engage with a company and identify with the brand and move them closer along the trust scale, so that when the company tries to sell them something, they're already halfway there, if not 80% of the way there. Content is a big part of the writing world, and it's a huge opportunity for writers. The fees that we typically see for online content is more of $100 to $500 per piece. And this is not for a long article. I'm talking, 800 to 1,200 words here. The fees typically depend on the length and the complexity of the topic. So is it something that you have to do a lot of research on, or is it, here's 5 ways to improve a headline? That might be easier than something a little more complex in the financial world, where there needs to be more research done. But really, 100 to 500, I can usually knock out a piece of online content in a couple of hours. So really, you could make a good living just writing online content. Again, the key is to understand online content and where the companies are. You're not writing for little blogs and, companies who aren't trying to sell things. You're working for companies, real companies who have big bottom lines that they're trying to add revenue to, and who value their content, and they value their websites, and therefore they value their writers. Another thing I like about online content is that retainer deals are possible. For those of you looking to transition from a full-time job into a freelance life, or just want to be able to write more, to spend more time writing your passion projects, writing your book. And so you need a retainer income, income that you can expect month after month from a client. You write the same thing every month, the same amount of copy, they pay you the same amount every single month. Online content is great for that. You can expect to receive 4 1,200 words articles from me for a month. Each month, in return, I will expect $2,000 from you for those 4 articles. So I love online content because you can set up those retainer deals. So how do you land those jobs? The best thing to do, again, is pick the industries that you're interested in. What do you want to read about? Because the things that you want to read about typically are the things that you're going to want to write about, and that you'll write about best. So figure out what you're interested in. You probably already have a bunch of websites that you go to regularly anyway, products that you already buy. Go to their websites and read the content, see what they're writing about, and then determine who their audience is. Who are they talking to? Is it the, young aspiring writer out of college? Is it the baby boomer who's looking to fix something health-wise? Who are they trying to target? And ultimately, what are they trying to sell? Some people think, oh, but they're just writing content. They're still selling something. Eventually, they're going to try to sell you something. So it's best for you to determine what that is, because you'll be able to write, that's their intention. And so you'll be able to come up with content ideas that are related and relevant to that sale, so that's going to be of interest to them. They're going to immediately see that, yes, you as a writer understand their audience, you understand what the company's intention is, and therefore you're able to write content that fits their goal. And then you just put together a list of relevant topics. What are things that would be interesting to their audience that would get them ready to buy a product down the line? Talking to them about something that's related to why they are on that website. And then when pitching the company or the potential client, just keep in mind the intention of the company. So for example, AWAI, our mission, as we've told you, is to help writers make a living, make a real living, not just $5 here and $10 there, to replace full-time income. We're here to help people make a living. And so that's our intention. So an article, for example, could be, 5 ways to edit your LinkedIn profile to attract better clients. Something like that. You're really thinking about what's the intention of the company, and then pitching content ideas that are related to that intention. Number 3, my third pick, is social media. And I wanted to put this one in here just because it's different than all the other ones. You might think, what would you need to write for social media? Why would writers be needed? Isn't that a technical kind of thing? But it's not. The writer's role is writers are actually the best people for social media. Typically, they do manage the community. So the writer is in there kind of leading the conversation. They're writing all of the company's messages and updates that they're posting on Facebook and LinkedIn and their tweets. They sometimes will be writing advertisements to build followers and increase engagement. So ads that bring people to their Facebook page, that bring people to their LinkedIn group. They lead discussions, hi everyone, so I want to hear what everybody's biggest fear is today about working with clients, or, whatever the thing is. they're leading those discussions, and then they're turning those engagements into content. So remember, opportunity number 2 was online content. If you're doing social media, it sets you up. You know what online content is going to be awesome because you're talking to their audience. They're telling you what they're most excited about. They're telling you what their pain points are and what their problems are. So you in turn can go back to your client and say, hey, thanks so much for letting me do your social media. In addition though, because of what I'm seeing here, I'd love to submit these 5 articles for you. And so one opportunity turns into a lot. Social media is great. Another retainer deal. It's upwards of $2,000 a month, depending on how much you do. I've seen it go much higher than that. This is more of the typical fee. So just, you can see here, just a few clients can easily replace a decent income. And I'm not saying you have to replace your income. You know, we also work with tons of writers who are just looking to make extra money on the side. We have some who love their jobs, who don't want to leave their jobs, but just want to have extra money writing to make an improvement on the house, to go on vacation, to put their kids through college, just to have the little bit of flexibility and freedom to not be so strapped month after month, or just people who want to have extra money. You know, like I have a few mom friends that I introduced to AWAI when I first started, who were just trying to make fees or just trying to make enough money to take their kids to mommy and me programs. So they just needed to make $500, $1,000 a month. So really, we work with writers on all ends of the spectrum, from the $500 a month person all the way up to the 6 figures a year, you know, person looking to replace their sales job. No matter where you are, we work with you on that. But retainers are nice because you can quickly see, you know exactly how much you need to make every month, and therefore you can quickly see, okay, if I need to make $6,000 a month to pay my bills, I need 3 social media clients. Done. And what I also love about this, though, is that because, again, you're talking to their audience, that new content is often priced separately. So it's an addition to the $2,000 that you're making every month to manage the social media. Okay, number 4 is email, also called permission-based marketing. And there's 3 purposes for emails. One is to keep prospects warm. So people who basically said, I'm interested in your stuff, but I'm not ready to buy yet. Emails, I'm sure you receive a lot of emails from Writer's Digest, you receive a lot of emails from AWAI, you might receive emails from any other newsletter that you've ever signed up for. What they're doing is just trying to keep you warm. You haven't bought anything yet, maybe you did, but we want to just keep you engaged. So that's one purpose of email. The second is to convert subscribers into buyers, people who signed up to the newsletter, but then also try to sell them something. And then finally, to continue to sell those buyers into buying more. Remember, these are businesses. It's not like they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. You know, ultimately businesses are around to make profits and to make money. And so that's the purpose of why they send emails. There are 3 kinds of emails that we talk about. And I'm gonna fly through this a little bit. You'll be able to come back to these slides later. But there are 3 types. One is autoresponders. We have advertorials, and then what we call sales emails. The first one just goes out automatically because it is literally triggered as an auto response. You send it for a newsletter and it goes out right away. The second one is more of a sales letter, editorial piece that has a sales message to it. And the final one is actually asking for a sale. I am going to fly through these slides though, just because again, we're a little pressed for time and I want to make sure that I get all the way through. There's a lot more coming, but you will be able to go back and access all of these slides. But autoresponders typically are $100 to $500 per email. They usually have 3 to 7 emails in the series. So 1 client, 1 assignment. You know, if you can do even as $100 for 7 emails, that's $700 right there. They're usually really short. They're less than 800 words. And the frequency depends on the client's marketing plan. So with autoresponders, it's I signed up for a free report, and now I'm going to get 5 emails that are going to try to drive me to take some kind of action. You as the autoresponder writer would write those emails. Sorry guys, there is a little bit of a, okay. In general, so what I've done here is that last slide wasn't supposed to be there. I had originally broken it all down into pieces. In general though, all of the emails, you're going to make somewhere between $100 and $1,000 per email, depending on the complexity and purpose. So from the autoresponder is going to be the quick short emails, 500, 800 words, and there's probably going to be 7 of them. A sales email is probably going to be more words, and it's going to be more expensive because you are selling something. And then what was the other one? The advertorial is typically somewhere in the middle of the road, could be up to $1,000, But again, that's like 1,200, 2,000 words, mainly editorial that ends with some kind of sales message. So there are lots of kinds of emails. We have a ton of stuff on our website. If you just search, if you go to AWAI and search email writing, you'll find all the different kinds. But they're cool because there's a lot of volume. So someone like Writer's Digest, I get 3 emails a day from Writer's Digest. AWI, we send 2 emails depending on who you are and what you're involved with. So sometimes daily. So your client can never send the same email twice, right? So they have to come to you again and again and again and again to have all these emails written. And so it can be you can just write emails and make a very good living as a writer. So how do you land email gigs? You sign up to receive their emails. Go back to those websites that you went to before where you were reading online content and sign up for their emails, sign up for their newsletter. If you really want to land a client, buy something. You can even return it. But the minute you buy something from them, you are going to receive a lot more email. You'll just receive their best promotional stuff. And so you'll be able to see what kind of emails are they sending. And then write some sample emails. I really urge everyone to pick a few companies that you really love, that you love to read about and you love to write about, you would love to write for, and write sample emails on their behalf. Follow the way that they speak. It's going to be different if you're talking to a financial publisher than if you're writing for AWAI. It's different. We're much more motivational. And so write in a way that matches with the industry that you're interested in. And then watch for opportunities to improve what they're already doing. You're going to be reading all their emails every day. So read them and say, you know what, this would have been way better if it was on this. Or they seem to be talking about this, but I am this market. And what I'm really interested in is X, Y, and Z. And then go to them and say, I see that you talk a lot about this, but what if you talked about that? I'm in your audience. And that's why I encourage people to go to companies that they already know and love, because you're their customer, you're their audience. So who better to write for them than you? And then my final one is video scripts. And I love it. The reason I put video scripts in is a lot of Writer's Digest members that I meet are screenwriters as well. They're part of the screenwriting part of Writer's Digest. And so video scripts are fantastic for you. I mean, anyone can do video scripts, but it's an obvious transition from the screenwriting to the copywriting world. So video scripts can be anything from just educational content. It can be longer. It can be a 5-minute just setup piece of content that says, here's how to use this product. Let me show you how to use our widget. It can be a quick little tutorial. Hey, here, let me show you the 5 best ways to make a living as a writer. I could do that as a quick video. It can be trying to sell something. But really, it's just a quick, you write the script and then the person, you give it to the company and they record it. Usually the fees are great. It's $100 to $300 per minute, which is just a page of copy, upwards of $500 per minute. Most scripts are 3 to 5 minutes long. And yep, that means that you could make $2,500 for only writing 5 pages of copy. So video scripts, very, very cool. And again, they're usually 2 kinds. One is the how-to teaching kind of content. So if you don't like the idea of selling, that's okay. You can write content scripts. The other is the selling kind, where you're trying to convince someone, again, to take an action and possibly buy something. But either way, great opportunity. And they all go hand in hand with all of the other opportunities that I shared with you. So how do you land video scripts? Review their current video offerings. Once again, go back to that company. Go back to those sites that I had you look at before for online content and for emails. How are they using video? How could they use video, right? It's not even just how they are using it, but are there ways that they're not using it? What could you recommend? And then present topics, just like you did with the online content. Hey, Rebecca, wouldn't it be great if you had a video that showed people how to do X, Y, Z? Just present the idea. And if they have no videos, then you just propose a strategy and say, Rebecca, I noticed you're not using video on your website. What if we had a video, a 3-minute video that got people to sign up for your newsletter? I mean, just what a great way to get your foot in the door, offering something that they're not doing right now. That's great. I'm always going to take that phone call as a marketer, as somebody who hires writers. And then a bonus tip on this one is to offer to write the emails. Now that you've got these videos up there and people are going to sign up to watch these videos, they probably need some emails to go to those people as well. And who better to write them than you? Now, I know I've flown through this, and again, you'll have access to these slides, but I'm going to make it even worse for you in just a minute, because we've only scratched the surface. There are so many writing opportunities for writers And this is a frustration point for Katie and for me, because again, we've been in this industry for so long. AWAI has been around for almost 20 years, but yet we feel like we barely scratched the surface as far as training copywriters. We get this question every webinar we do. We get the question, aren't there too many copywriters out there? There are millions of companies. There are 8.5 million B2B, business-to-business companies in the US and Canada alone. And that's companies, one business that's selling to another business instead of selling to a consumer like you and I. That's just that little tiny market. So even if we could turn out the max copywriters every year, we wouldn't even make a dent in the need for copywriters. I showed you 5 great assignments that you could start on rather quickly. Those are just a little bit. Like, there's more. There's case studies. These are success stories where you are talking to companies, talking to one of the company's customers about their wonderful experience with the company's product. So they're like, they love the product and they want to share their story. So you get to talk to this person that's so excited about it, and then you get to write it into a case study that the company uses to basically demonstrate how reputable they are or how their customers have used their products to other potential clients. Blogs, articles, white papers, these are like informative reports. So for those of you thinking, not really into this whole sales writing thing, do white papers. White papers are just, it's doing a lot of research and then putting together a report based on that research. Information pages, landing pages, home pages, huge opportunity over on the website of things. Cause marketing, that is when a company also supports the cause. So they have their main business where they're selling products A, B, and C, but they also support cancer research. They also support leukemia and lymphoma. Like whatever the cause is that they're supporting, you can do just the writing for that piece of it. Dove hand soap and oil spills. They clean a bird's. They send not Dove, the blue dishwashing detergent. I can't think of Dawn. Dawn takes the grease away. Yes. Like I can see the bottle. But that's their cause marketing effort. They donate all of that Dawn to help clean up oil spills. Ebooks, great. Everyone on this call should be able to write ebooks. You guys are writers. Write ebooks. Money making websites. These are websites on a specific type of content. So it could be on coffee, on tea, on the color pink. It could be on anything. But you basically write these websites, and then this is great because you're your own client. All of this stuff I'm showing you, if you go to AWAI's website and you just search on one of these things, you'll see exactly what the opportunity is and just what it's all about, how much you can make, etc. Before I hand it back over to Katie, who's going to show you how to land clients, I wanted to talk about just really quick how in copywriting, one project can lead to so many others. So I've given you a little taste of all the things and how they all connect, but I just want to show you a couple of examples. So we've been using this word a lot lately because it's this abundance. Once you become a copywriter, there's so much opportunity. It's like you walk through one door and there are 50 more doors behind that door, and each of those doors has a bunch of opportunity behind it. So let's just say you're hired to write a sales letter, okay, as a writer. That person, that company, that you've written the sales letter, you submitted it, but they still need people to get to the sales letter, right? So they're going to write emails. They're going to need emails that are going to drive people to the sales letter. They're going to need social media ads. They're going to need those advertorials I was talking about. They're going to need special reports. They're going to need a welcome letter once people buy the product. They're going to need follow-up emails after that. So you're hired to write a sales letter. Let's say you're paid $5,000 to write a sales letter. Great. Who's going to write your sales emails? Well, I can do that for you. I'll write 5 sales emails for you at $300 a piece. That's $1,500 more. I'll also write the social media ads. I'll give you 10 ads, let's say $750. I'll also write 2 advertorials. I'll also write a special, you can see one project can turn into a great sum of money, a great amount of opportunity. Let's say you're hired to write social media. That's how you get your foot in the door, right? Now you're in the perfect position to offer online content. We talked about that. Who better to recommend content than you? You know exactly what their audience wants. Social media ad campaigns, landing pages, new member email sequences. This is someone just signed up. Usually there's a little bit of a relationship building that happens. E-newsletters. Just because you took the social media gig, now you have an opportunity to present all these other opportunities for yourself, and you'll be paid for each of those. Or let's say you write the white paper, the thing that I was telling you about, that research piece. What about all the other pieces they need to close that sale? White papers are typically used in business to business. That's businesses selling to other businesses instead of consumers. That one report is just one piece. So they're selling to let's say they sell copy machines, right? The company knows that they need a copy machine. They just don't know which copy machine to buy. And I'm using this as a very basic example. So they might send them a white paper on why their copy machine is the best copy machine in the industry. Well, they also need something called lead generation campaigns. How did they get those people? How did they get someone to tell them, I'm interested in your white paper? That's something else that a copywriter writes. They need case studies. All the people who are excited about using this copy and how it's changed their lives. Those are the case studies. They need video scripts showing them, demonstrating how great their copier is and why it should be the one that they choose. They need blog posts. I mean, their websites nowadays, you don't just get to manufacture a widget anymore. You don't get to just make something. Even though that's your job, even though that's what your passion is, you can't not have an online presence anymore. And in order to have an online presence, you have to have a lot of content published regularly. So you're going to need blog posts. Maybe you need ebooks. You know, it's one little assignment can lead to so much. It's just a matter of understanding the business side of things, understanding this world, and understanding the value that you bring to the table, and always looking for that next thing. So just because someone hires you for project A, don't forget to ask for B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You don't want to lose that opportunity, because it's much easier to land one client and turn them into a huge client than to have to try to find a new client every single time you want to have another project. So with that, let's go ahead and move into where to find the best clients. Kate, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, and I'm so glad, because we are getting quite a few questions about that, because that's what this is all about. And I'm trying to keep up with the questions as best I can. If we'll see what we have time for at the end, but if not, we will get these all answered. And Rebecca, a little hiccup in our technically challenged day today is I can't see the slides on the screen.
Excellent.
So we're going to have to really get our rhythm. We're so connected, right?
You can't see the slides at all?
No, but I have the Q&A box. So Sue, I don't know, Sue, if you could hear me, but I don't want to slow us down. Rebecca and I finish each other's sentences anyway, so this should just be we're just adding a level of complexity to this. But
well, let's do
right
step one. So we're going to go through a few steps. So step one is choosing an industry, also referred to as a niche. What do you have to say about choosing an industry?
Okay, Rebecca, I do have them printed out. I just can't see them on the slide, on the screen. So choose an industry. That's what a lot of these questions have been about. Is, you know, how do I find the clients? How do I, know if I'm a good fit? Well, we refer to this as finding your niche, working for a niche, and there is as many niches as you can think of. There are opportunities. And really, what I like to do is I just follow the money. Where is money exchanging hands? Where are people paying for information? Where are they paying for products? Where are they engaged in that type of activity? And somebody is writing information for them. Now, niches can be as broad as health or finance or, anything as big as that, or it can be as narrow as, growing the best Roma tomatoes. I think it's always best to start with something that you're passionate about, something that you do have some experience about, and something that you can add to the conversation. What you want to bring is ideas and a voice and understanding of who the prospects are, as well as the messages that the companies are trying to get out. Now, let's say if you've been a nurse or a plumber, you know more about nursing and plumbing than, 9 out of 10 people walking down the street. If you love that and you feel strongly about that and you do have passion about it, go see where are nurses going to buy products, get information, what websites do they go to, what classes do they take, where do you fit into that? Or if it's just a hobby that you have or a passion, or, if you've been taking care of a parent and have insight and information to share there. There's a whole world of companies that are dying for your input. You know, the thing to think about too is, this isn't an adversarial relationship. This is, you know, your clients want you. You're a problem solver for them. You're helping them be more successful, and they are going to welcome you into the team. And the other thing is, not only is it not adversarial, it's not solo. You're not just, you know, given an assignment and then sent off to the woods to, you know, forage for information and then come back with a perfect writing, you know, sales letter. It's you're part of a marketing team. It's in their best interest for you to be as successful as possible, so they're going to give you as much research and support as they can. They don't expect perfect first drafts. That never, ever happens. There's a give and take, a back and forth, and it's really a beautiful process. So, you know, a lot of people, that's a fear that some have, or they just don't really, until you're really in it, you don't understand how that works. But back to the thing. So the first thing, just choose an industry. Choose something that you are passionate about, you have experience in, interest in, and then you want to just research the potential clients in that world. Go to the top websites. Go to the top publications. Go to the top sellers. Go to Amazon and search there, and then just do some research. Go onto the websites, check them out, get their e-letters. Somebody was asking how you sign up for e-letters. You know, most websites have a little box. You know, would you like more? You know, more information from us, or any products that you buy. These are all ways of getting to know the companies, how they work, how they communicate. Go on forums. What are people talking about? Just remember, follow the money. Anywhere that there are transactions taking place, a copywriter is involved. So, and once you start thinking about it and looking around with these eyes, you will see that there are prospects everywhere. There are potential clients everywhere. So now once you figure out the companies that you'd like to work for, then you need to think about, you know, okay, who are they selling to? What is their aim? What is their goal? So, you know, who is their buyer? For instance, in the elder care, you know, is it the elderly person themselves? Is it their children? Is it somebody else? Is it doctors? Is it, you know, who is it that makes the ultimate decisions and actually makes the purchases? So, you know, you need to know who the buyer is and where are they emotionally, mentally, how much education do they need about what you're doing? You know, where are they on all those different spectrums?
And on this too, even just for researching clients, like I love what you're saying too about just if you think about who the buyer is, even if you don't know who you want to work for, if you can't name the clients, but you know you're in the plumbing industry or whatever the thing is that you've picked, think about who the buyer is in that industry, so they don't know who they want to buy from either. But then go to Google. You know, what would they buy from your ideal client? What is it that they're looking for? And the example that we always use, and I don't want to talk over you, but this health supplement thing with the buyer is someone who's overweight, so the product is something for weight loss. So they go to Google and type in natural supplement for weight loss. All of your potential clients are going to show up right there. That's your list of companies. So when you're researching clients, just go to Google. Just pretend that you're the buyer in that industry. What are you buying? What phrases would you use to search Google for products? All of the companies will show up in those first two pages. So, and those would be your first ideal future clients.
Great. Thanks, Rebecca. And, you know, what you're looking for are real companies, you know, not just blogs, you know, companies that have some depth to them, have some action happening. You know, they need to have a professional website. They need lots of content. You know, you want them to be marketers and communicating and it's a little bit counterintuitive, but the way this works, the more emails a company sends out, the more sales letters they send out, the more everything that they do, they just need more of it. It's a very hungry and demanding beast. And you want a company that's selling a lot of products and services. You know, that they have a machine in place, and believe me, they need writers. Then the next step is reach out and promote yourself as a professional writer and a professional copywriter. And again, keep in mind, you're not going there begging for crumbs or asking them to do you a favor. You are their problem solver. You're there to help them be more successful. I'm an online copywriter specializing in health products for boomers who write emails, online content, and social media that engage readers and converts them into buyers. What marketer, what health company is not going to want to at least have a conversation with somebody that comes to them with that kind of specific, problem-solving, benefit-oriented introduction? And, you know, we go into so much detail about this, and we have so much of free content available on our website. You know, this is a main conversation that we're having all the time with our members. We're sharing what has worked for our successful people. We're sharing what all of our experts, you know, what they're seeing, what they recommend. So this is something that we take very seriously, and we put a lot of we have a lot of conversation about that as well. And there's as many ways to do this as you can think about. You know, you can send persuasive letters. You can, you know, call people. You can go to networking groups. You can go to conferences. You know, there's as many ways to find these potential clients as, you know, there are potential clients out there. Now, somebody had asked this, so I'm glad this is, you know, who is it that you want to be looking for? Who is your ultimate prospect? And you know, a lot of times it's a creative director or a marketing director. Sometimes it's the president or owner, or, you know, it's usually somebody within those realms. Copywriting, you know, typically falls into the marketing line of as opposed to the editorial or writing line of any company. So, you know, you can do it through LinkedIn. You can just, as you're Googling companies, you can do searches on their websites. A lot of times they'll list who the employees are. There's a great resource published by Target Marketing called Who's Mailing What that includes a lot of that information. You know, basically you just call and say, who hires the copywriters in your organization? And then you tell them you're a copywriter. And you know, and honestly, you're going to want to be telling everybody in your universe, everybody in your world, anytime you have the chance, I'm a copywriter. And 9 times out of 10, people are, well, they might say, oh, what's that, first of all. And then when you tell them that you write persuasive letters to make sales and to help grow businesses, you know, they'll say, oh, you know what, I need one of those, or my brother-in-law needs one, or, you know, we need this for our company. You know, your job is to improve their business through writing. And when that is just part of your DNA, when that's just part of all the communication that you're having, people are going to come out of the woodwork to want to talk to you and see how you can help them. And again, if it sounds a little scary and we're going lightly over this, once you're part of the AWAI world, this is a big, ongoing, constant conversation, and there's lots of support, and we take all the fear and trepidation out of it. But just going to end here on a few best practices. You know, first impressions are crucial. I have to say that, and that first impression is typically an email, and it's got to be your best writing. It has to include all the things that we teach, where you have to know who it is you're writing to. You have to offer a solution, solve a problem, offer them a benefit. How are you going to make their life easier? And it has to have a call to action. You have to ask them to, take that next step. You're starting a relationship. And just like dating, just like any kind of friendship, any kind of relationship, you want to not come on too strong, not be too, you just have to find the balance, and that's just part of your personality, and it's part of any type of relationship. It's not any different than that. But just know that you're dealing with, busy people who want to be have better days, and whatever that means. They want to not have problems. They want to be successful. They want to have their work day go easier, and you're part of that solution. You want to keep the relationship warm with follow-up. That means, you don't contact them every day, but, once every couple of weeks or once a month or whatever it is, especially if you see an article or you come across something that would be of interest or useful for them, jot them up. Hey, here's this idea. Or, I can't look at this. This fits in with what you're doing. It might be something that you can use. Or come to them with ideas. I was reading this, or I was listening to this, and it made me think, oh, this would be a great idea for you. I'm happy to write that for you. Just let me know. Timing does play up. So even if you don't get a yes right away, or if you don't even get responses right away, as long as you are professional and available and friendly and available as a resource, there is a really good chance that the stars are going to line up and the timing's going to hit, and it's just going to be right when they need something. They'll say, oh yeah, how about Sue? We haven't talked to her in a while, or we haven't. This would be a great thing to try her out on. So I hope I covered all that. I hope I didn't miss any slides. And
nope,
Rebecca, I'm going to turn it back to you, since we're at the 2 o'clock mark, and I'll jump back in here and try to answer as many of these questions as I can.
And we're not actually done. So if you have questions, then we're going to open it up for the Q&A here in just a second. I just want to give you some tips for how to actually get started. But if you have questions, go ahead and type them in the Q&A, and we will open it up in just a few minutes. So next steps, what do? You learn how to write persuasively. That's step one. Understanding copywriting that's the start. Then you choose the projects you want to write. If you're not sure which projects you want to write yet, just go to the AWAI website. It's just a great resource. All of our sales letters, all of our promos for all of our programs, if there's a great opportunity out there, we have a program that teaches you how to do it. I'm not saying to go buy all those programs, but read those letters. We do a lot of research. The only time we ever publish a program on an opportunity is if we have extensively researched it. We've found tons of people making really good money at it, and we have found an expert who is not only working in the field and making a good living at it, but is also an excellent teacher. So our teachers aren't just teachers. It's not the can't do teach thing. They have to be working experts in the field, and then they also happen to be good teachers. So those sales letters in our catalog just tell you all about the opportunity. It tells you how much money you can make, what the assignments look like. So it's a great resource for understanding all of the opportunities. So then just choose the projects you want to write, and then identify 20 dream clients. Just do the research. Pick an industry. What's everyone right now, after you get off this, you can jot down 3 areas that you're interested in. What do you want to read about? What are the products that you buy? Because you're going to do a lot of reading as a writer, and then you're going to be doing a lot of writing. And so you want to write about stuff that interests you. And then just identify, do that research, pretend like you're one of their customers, or if you already are, then and start researching and write down those 20 clients, and then start promoting yourself as a copywriter. I know it sounds like, we're just glossing over it, but we only have an hour and we tried to cram a ton into this, but we have a ton of free content on our website. We actually do something called Inside AWAI each month where we tackle one of these topics. Recently, we did one on getting clients. We did one on picking a niche. And so if you go to awaionline.com/inside-AWAI, and I can hopefully get this into the Q&A, into the chat in just a minute, you'll see all of these other webinars that we've done on these topics. But program-wise, if you want to learn how to be a copywriter, if you want to learn, this is where it starts. Katie mentioned we have 75 plus programs in our catalog. This is where it starts, though. Anyone who comes to AWAI fresh, who wants to be a writer, who wants to make a living as a writer, we recommend that they start here with the accelerated program for 6-figure copywriting. This is professional training taught by many of the best copywriters in the industry. This is not some random person who might have been a copywriter at some point. This is the professional grade training. This is the industry standard for good copywriting. There's loads of exercises and assignments to ensure that you learn the core concepts. And we give you access to over 50 winning examples of copy written by copywriting legends. These are the people who have built this industry and who have taught, the best copywriters in the industry today. So you'll learn the same proven techniques, tips, and strategies that have sold billions of dollars of products and services, and you'll get help building your business. Remember, at the beginning, for us, it's not just about teaching you the skills, but teaching you how to build a business. It's one thing to have writing skills and to be able to be a copywriter, but if no one's paying you for those skills, not really the same thing, right? You're not actually making a living. So we give you there's a full section of the program dedicated to helping you get clients. How do you reach out to them? How do you pick your niche? What do you say? What do you say if they ask you this? How do you price? All of that stuff. We tackle all of it. We give you access to our job board. It's called directresponsejobs.com. The industry knows that AWI trained copywriters are the best copywriters. So they come to us. We don't want to be an agency. So we created this job board. It's free for them to post. It's free for you as a member. And you connect with them directly. That way they can find the copywriter that they want. You can find the clients that you want. And we can continue doing what we do best, which is teaching copywriters. We help you safely change careers. So if you are in a full-time job looking to become a freelancer, we help you do that. And the information on this course is actually at that URL, awaiionline.com/paid writing. And there's one more huge bonus that I get asked all the time. And this is something that I love that we do. And that's feedback on your writing. You get 2 critiqued assignments as part of the program. So you will write them and submit them for review. We will give you feedback on how to improve it. And then you can actually turn into a sample that you can show clients. Another big question we get, what if I don't have any samples? It doesn't matter. You can create samples at any given point. Samples are truly just samples of your writing. It doesn't matter if you've never had a client. You can literally use the assignments in the accelerated program to get clients. Use them as samples. And there's one more tiny thing, because we love a good deal at AWAI. We have a deal right now that if you sign up, you'll actually save $200. You'll pay just $297 for the full program. That's access to the job board. That's access to everything, which is actually 40% off. And you can actually get started, since this is a Writer's Digest event. We've put up together a payment plan for only $59.40. And you'll have a full year to decide if copywriting is for you. So you can take the program, you can get your assignments critiqued, you can get out, start landing clients, you can work on a few paid assignments. And if you decide, I've done 3 assignments, I got paid, but you know what, copywriting really isn't for me, that's okay. We've never not given somebody a refund ever in the almost 20 years that we've been in business. So do it, try it, jump in, see if you like it. And if you like the career, then great, stick with us and keep going. And if not, that's okay. At least you gave it a shot, and you can write it off as not the opportunity for you. Although if you really get into it, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how much you love it. So with that, thank you so much for joining us today. Now we'll open it up for questions. But of course, you can learn more about becoming a well-paid writer at awaiionline.com/paid writing. And if you just go to our website too, the awaiionline.com, that's where you'll find we have thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of free content on making a great living as a writer, from getting clients to picking your niche to putting up your website, whatever it is, whatever thing that you have a question about, we have likely answered it through at least a dozen pieces of content by now. And you can always call our member services team. We have an amazing set of people who are empowered and well-informed to help you with whatever you need. Their only job is to make sure that you get what you need. So at any given time, whether it's now to ask about the program, or when you're working in the program, or 5 years from now when you just want to call and have a group of people celebrate your success, they are there at that phone number.
Okay. Oh boy, let me think about how to organize it. Okay, want to clear something up. Charmaine is asking, so $297 now, then is there any additional fees afterwards? And no, that is it. That's and a beautiful thing in my opinion is we call all of our programs living programs. So anytime we make updates, which we do on a regular basis, you get those updates automatically. So once you're in, you're in. Okay, so there's quite a few questions about samples, people that, maybe don't have them yet or have old ones? What's the best way to present them? How important are they? So, Rebecca, maybe if you just kind of talk for a minute in general about that, we could knock out quite a few questions.
Sure. And my slide just went away, and I don't know how to get it back. So you want me to talk about samples as far as what they are and if they're needed and that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yes.
I can do that. So again, I just touched on this a minute ago, but samples really are just samples of your writing. So we're just looking to see, can you string words together? Do you have a nice tone to your voice? What, do you understand our audience? Do you understand our products and services? We're really just looking to see your style of writing. And that's why I recommend that people always put together samples of the projects that they want to write. So let's say you want to write emails. Then write 3 emails in the industry that you're interested in targeting. Let's say you want to do sales letters. Write a sales letter selling you as the product or service instead of something else. You can write anything, but I always recommend putting together a few samples for whatever project type you're looking to write for clients. And really that's it. I promise you, they're not just looking for who you've written for. They just want to see a sample of your writing.
Good. Let's see. So here's somebody. Mickey said he or she, I'm sorry, I don't know, found clients actually reading the local newspaper, and that's a great source. You can find companies that are marketing, that are in the news, that have things to say. That's another great place. You're going to see now I promise you, from this day forward, you're going to just be looking at everything you come across on the web, on TV, in print as potential clients now.
I love this one. I've got a lot of questions I'm thinking about pricing. We have a ton of pricing guides on our website. If you just go to AWAI and you search pricing, you'll find programs that actually walk you through how to price, how to structure proposals, how to put together invoicing, all of that stuff. But AWAI also publishes an annual pricing guide, which is the industry's kind of, here are the 50 projects you're likely going to be hiring copywriters for, marketers A, B, and C. Here's what you're going to expect to pay for them. Copywriters, here are the projects that they're hiring. Here's what they're going to expect to pay for you. So AWAI is trying to, direct the industry in what they should expect to pay copywriters, because we believe that, copywriting is a noble profession that really controls the bottom line of a company. Without copywriters, businesses can't sell their products and services. And without selling their products and services, they're really not in any business anymore. So there's a value on that side. Plus copywriters, they work really hard. They learn their craft. They improve their craft. And so they understand what it is that they're doing. And so there's a lot of value on their side as well. So we publish an annual guide that basically says, if it's an 8-page sales letter, here's what you can expect to pay. If it's an email, here's what you can expect to pay. And that's on our website as well.
We have another question. Irene is asking, what does the $59 get you? It's the full program. You'll get everything that Rebecca talked about, the full program. It is with the expectation that you'll continue to make the payments, and if for some reason you didn't or you wanted to cancel, then your access would go away. But we're letting you get started at that rate because we do know the value of it, and we just know what it can mean for you.
I like this one. How about direct marketing associations? Can you potentially find clients there too? Absolutely. The DMA, which is the main direct marketing association, we sometimes exhibit actually at their big annual conference, because the 2,000 marketers who are there are all potential clients looking to hire AWI trained copywriters. So we go and we represent our copywriters on their behalf. But by all means, direct marketing associations, and then any association in your industry. So let's say trade
industries. Yes.
So let's say you're interested in something, go look up their association and go see what their conference is. Anybody who is exhibiting at a conference has a lot of marketing money. Exhibiting is like the most expensive marketing channel. and you don't do it unless you have a lot to gain. So, you know that they have really good budgets. So associations are fantastic. I see this one too, and I get this question a lot. How do you keep pitched ideas from being stolen? You just don't worry about it. We rarely hear about it happening. And again, we've been in business almost 20 years. It's just not. If you're going after high-level companies, which is what we direct you to do, we don't tell you to work for the $5, person who's looking to hire an article writer for $5. We're having you go to real companies who would never risk their reputation on something like that. And you're not writing out everything. You're not submitting the whole article. You're just saying, let me write an article on this topic. This is my idea for this sales letter.
And plus, if you're bringing an idea, that's not the only idea you're ever going to have, and marketers know that. If there's an idea you like, believe me, their biggest concern is when am I going to get the next idea? They're going to want more from you. So yeah, like I said, that's not a worry at all. NC's asking about pen names. Now, as the copywriter, typically you are writing in someone else's voice. It could even be the president of the company. It could be the spokesman. But as far as for your business, there are people that use their real names, use a company name, or use the pen name. It really, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But most of the writing that you'll be doing is in someone else's name in most cases.
I'm going to tackle as far as getting your foot in the door. Ian is asking about cold calling, that this is probably going to have to start with cold calling. That's actually untrue. One of our best getting clients experts that we work with said the best tactic for marketing yourself is the one that you're actually going to do. I am not going to cold call. That's just not my personality, so that wouldn't work for me. We teach basically 10 different channels that you can use to get clients. Cold calling is one of them. So if you're great on the phone, we can teach you how to do that. But it doesn't have to be the only one. You can get in through LinkedIn. We can use your website. We can have you involved in social media groups. There are various ways that you can promote yourself as a writer. So cold calling is one, but does not need to be, you don't have to cold call at all if you don't want to. So don't worry about that. And then but if you are cold calling and you want to figure out who to reach in the organization, just call the main line and say, hey, the person answers the phone. Hi, this is Sue with AWAI. Hey, Sue, who hires copywriters? My name is Rebecca Matter. I'm a professional copywriter, blah, blah. Who hires copywriters in your organization? Oh, that's Katie Akel. Great. Thank you so much. You hang up. Then you email Katie or you call Katie and say, hey, Katie, I was just talking to Sue and she recommended that I get in touch with you because you hire copywriters. Well, now it's like this implied recommendation or endorsement from this person within the company. And they're going to take that phone call. They're going to continue the conversation because you've already diffuse that initial, why are you calling me thing? You're calling me because somebody recommended that you call me. So for those of you who are interested in cold calling, that's the best way of just ask the question, who hires copywriters? And then call that person.
Okay, somebody's asking about boot camp. Oh, I love that you know about it.
How do they know about boot camp?
I don't know, but it's October 19th through the 22nd in Delray Beach, Florida. It's 3 days of intensive copywriting training and networking. We have a big job fair where we have about 40 marketers who are all there to meet writers. It's like nothing you've ever experienced. That's all I can say. I couldn't recommend it highly enough.
And we have a website up for that called AWAIbootcamp.com, and you can find out everything there.
Yes.
I want to answer these two questions. One is about location. I know Writers Digest does have some international members. And so for those of you asking, you don't live in the U.S., is this an opportunity for you? Absolutely. Now, this is assuming that you can write and speak in English. You can work for any company in the U.S., and that would be fine. It doesn't matter where you live. I've got people who work in Australia. I have people who live in Australia, people who live in Ireland. We work with people all over. That doesn't matter as long as you have an internet connection and you're able to meet your deadlines where you live. You'll never actually meet your clients face-to-face, even if they live in the same state as you. That being said, if English isn't your first language, then you would typically write for companies. You could still write for U.S. companies, but you'd be looking for companies who target consumers in your language. And the way you do that is you go to Google and you look up the companies in your version of Google and make sure that if you're looking for French companies who are selling to French-speaking customers, then you're looking for websites that are speaking in French. Very simple, but it could be a U.S.-based company. or you can write for companies in your country as well. Copywriting is everywhere. If they have an online presence, they need copywriters. It's not just like the old days of direct mail. It's online content and video scripts and social media and email. I mean, every company, no matter where you are in the world, has all of these marketing channels in place. So that doesn't matter. The other one I wanted to answer is about advertising. Someone said, did you know that Craigslist advertises copywriters, and that, I want to address companies advertising for copywriters. That is an opportunity for finding clients, but it's not the only one. And oftentimes it's not the best one. It might be for you, but lots of times companies who are advertising for copywriters are looking for full-time, first of all, and oftentimes they don't know what they're looking for. So they'll have things like, 10 years of writing experience and this, they'll have these things that their HR made them, their human resources department made them fill out this form, this kind of education and blah, blah, blah. But the reality is you don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have a lot of years of experience. Some of the best copywriters today, that have come through AWAI, Ray Robinson is one of our success stories. She found us when she was in college. She put our course on her own credit card because her parents were paying for her college, and she had basically to hide it from them. And she went through the program. 2 years later, she graduated college, and she's hit 6 figures this past year and has never had a job. So she had a few years of copywriting experience and is already a 6-figure copywriter and sought out. She is, people are calling her, and she's not the only one like that. You don't have to have 10 years of experience. You don't have to have a college degree in whatever they're saying. So advertise. You can apply for companies who are advertising for copywriters, but you don't have to. That being said, if you want to, if you feel like, hey, this company is someone I really want to work for, but they're only looking for a full-time copywriter with 10 years of experience, don't let that stop you. Write them a persuasive letter and tell them why they should hire you anyways. That's okay. As a copywriter, if you can sell them on that, who better to write copy than you? Because you've done your job effectively. You've persuaded somebody to give you a chance. And we show you a lot about how to do that, how to get companies to actually give you a chance in the program. But just know that you don't need to apply for jobs that are being advertised. I like the idea of being in control and writing about things I want to write about, working for companies that I want to work for, and not just sitting back and waiting for my dream company to say, hey, I'm looking for a copywriter today. Because it might not be like that. They might not think to advertise, or they might have in-house copywriters and they just want some new ideas. At any given time, AWAI has 2 in-house copywriters and then dozens of freelancers who are working for us, because it just gives us a lot more. It gives us more ideas and more energy and different ways of looking at things, and it's extremely valuable. We value our copywriters just like many of the companies we know do as well. Boy, you guys really know a lot about our business. Someone is asking, can I add the companion program at a later date? This actually is like, Katie, it's kind of overwhelming that people know AWAI so well.
Yeah, there are quite a few questions about the companion series, and
so do you want me to jump in?
Yeah.
So the companion series, for those of you who are asking about that, is the accelerated program for 6-figure copywriting is a self-guided program. You go through it. It's like 500 pages. It's all online though, and it has all the exercises and these assignments. The companion series, so you go through the program at your own pace. It can take you a month. It can take you a year. Whatever you want to work through it at, that's what you can do. The companion series, though, is for people who want more of like a classroom style training. So you basically will meet. It's all recorded, but you meet with Katie and me once a week, and it's over the course of 10 weeks. So it makes sure that you get through the program in 10 weeks. It keeps you on track. We'll say you need to read pages 1 through 75 before next week's session, and then you come on with us, and we give you another presentation in addition to what you just read, just to make sure that you've truly mastered and acquired the fundamental principles and things that we've taught in that section, to make sure that they're in you, that you've got it, and we bring in other experts, people who are not part of the original program, just to give another perspective on that specific topic. We review your copy, so you actually have an opportunity for us to look at your copy. You can ask questions, and again, it just keeps you on track. It's a nice accountability to make sure that you get through the program in 10 weeks. That's called the companion series. It's a little bit more than the self-guided program, but if you just call member services, they can set you up and just say, Rebecca said to give you the best deal that you have going on right now, and they will always work with you. If you've already bought the main program, just call them and they can easily add on the companion series. You'll just pay the difference of whatever you paid for the program versus the companion series.
Okay. All right. We got the international questions.
I like this one. I'm actually just about to have a meeting about this on Thursday. I'm a journalist. Is there an area you see journalists gravitating towards? It's funny. B2B is like so business to business. That's again companies where a business is selling to another business. They are all about journalists. They just, journalists write great stories, but they understand research really well. And so I'm meeting with someone named Gordon Graham, who is the white paper guy. I mean, he's Google. Everyone who needs a high level white paper, they go to this guy named Gordon Graham. And he was a former journalist. And so I'm actually meeting with him on Thursday to help journalists transition from that industry into an opportunity where they have a little bit more opportunity and freedom. So that's funny. So yeah, B2B is definitely, if you just go to our website, you'd still start with the accelerated program, but if you go to our website and you go under writing opportunities, you'll see B2B is one of the opportunities there. If you go to that part of the website, or we have a website called B2B Writing Success. That's another one that I would recommend that you check out.
Judith is asking, are there any specific tips for ethnic writers? And, I would say no, not, well, I guess I would say if there is some affinity or some connection to any kind of group or any kind of niche or segment or whatever, that gives you an advantage. So I would find companies or, organizations or groups that specialize, that are focused on whatever that segment is, and whatever your experience is, bring it and offer to contribute and to participate. But otherwise, the thing about copywriting is nobody really, we happen to know a lot of our writers because they happen to be members, and a lot of them have been to boot camp, so we do know probably more of our writers than most. But, for so many companies, they never meet their writers. They don't care if you're old or young or what you look like, what you wear during the day. I mean, any of those superficial, surface type of things, they just don't matter. It really is all about the writing, and does it do what it needs to do? And believe me, whatever, if that answer is yes, you get a lot of slack, you get a lot of leeway, you get a lot of freedom.
This is interesting as far as promoting yourself. Like, people are asking, is it useful to say that you have a degree or that you've taken AWI programs, what your experience is? I always tell people the answer can be yes, but whatever I say, whenever I'm thinking about promoting myself, draw a line on a piece of paper, and on the left-hand side, write everything that you have, whether it's degree, whether it's experience, whether it doesn't have to be writing experience, but it could be, whether it's 10 years of plumbing, whatever the things are that you have, write them on the left-hand side of the paper. And then on the right side, I want you to write down your potential client. So I'm going to be working for health supplement providers. And then look to the left of the line and figure out how to describe which things are relevant to the company that's looking to hire you to write about their health supplements. If the stuff on the left-hand side is automatically relevant, like I've taken the accelerated program for spearheaded copywriting, I have a bachelor's degree in health sciences, whatever it is, move those things over. But now let's say you've got this 10 years of plumbing experience and you're deciding to go for health. How do you make that relevant? It might not be. It might be that you run your own business for 10 years, so you understand the sales process. Great. That's how you make it relevant. So you've got a lot of stuff that you can use to explain your background and the value that you bring. And then it's just a matter of, is it relevant to the potential client who's trying to hire you? So it might be relevant to say that you have a bachelor's degree, or you might have so much you might have stronger stuff that it's not. It really just depends on your background. But everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you have something that sells you, whether it's direct work experience in an industry or even just a passion. I know plenty of writers who have launched their businesses solely on a passion. I know someone specifically coming to mind who is an alternative health writer who launched her whole business. She had never done a lick of copywriting in alternative health, but she had lived an alternative health lifestyle for 20 years. She was well read on it. She had the proof of the products that she loves and her lifestyle. And so that's what she wrote about on her website. just this understanding of the industry. So it's not like you have to come in with 20 years of experience, but there's something in your past, something that you've done that's relevant and beneficial to the companies that you want to work for. So that's what you want to put together when promoting yourself and reaching out to clients. As an aside, for those of you who are taking the accelerated program, we are going to have, we're launching something very soon called AWAI Verified, which will be a test that you'll be able to take, that you'll be able to use to, once you pass it, to promote yourself as an AWAI Verified copywriter. So that's really exciting. I see some of you saying, you know, you already have the program. I also see another one, Teresa, you're asking, you had bought a different program, but you'd really like to take this one instead. Absolutely, just call member services, and they'll be happy to switch you from that program over to your new, like I said, over to this one. Like I said, this is where you need to start with AWAI, and our member services team is empowered to do whatever it is that you need to help you move forward, get unstuck, overcome a hurdle, whatever it is at any point in your career, even if it's just to say, great job. If you just need someone to say, great job, they're there for that as well. So just call them and they can help you out. All right, guys, I know Sue's going to jump on any second and cut us off. So, Katie, you want to maybe each answer one more question? Or are we kind of...
I want to acknowledge all the love we're getting and tell you, you know, we appreciate you being here and being such a great group and really engaging. And, you know, this is our passion, and we love to talk about it, but it's certainly a lot more fun when we're getting this kind of feedback. So thank you. We really appreciate it.
And we do love to celebrate the successes. Stay in touch with us. It seems like there are a lot of AWAI members in this webinar, and we want to hear from you. You know, Katie and I are always accessible to you at any given time, as well as the team. So hopefully, if you're having success, we want to know about it, and we want to help celebrate. We're really good at it.
Yeah, this is the real deal, and it changes lives. And even if you don't, for some reason, decide to go on to start a whole copywriting business, learning what we teach in the accelerated program is just going to improve all aspects of your life. It's going to improve how you communicate. It's going to improve how you get things done, all your types of interactions. And it's just such a cool, you know, kind of fun perspective to look at the world with. I mean, that's how I feel about it. So, you know, I hope you'll give it a shot. And
all right, guys.
Wonderful writers' lives too. Okay, thank you so much, Sue, and thanks for helping us out in the beginning here. And everybody,
we don't like to hang up.
We really don't. Come on, any more questions?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Sue.